For now, this is the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel des 毎日アップするので毎日見てください. And it is for now the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel because we're thinking about rebranding. I did a video a couple of days ago about that. Please see the link in the description down below or the card up here if you're interested in having your opinion about how we should rebrand this channel and change the name from Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. And we'll see where that goes. But that's not what we're after today. Today we're after an Adidas 4D sneaker. It's another one of the 4D lines, and the 4D sneakers, yeah, they're a bit hit or miss for me. Some of them I think are absolutely fire. One of my all-time favorite sneakers came out of the 4D line. But also at other times, I think they've got it completely wrong. And today's sneaker lies right in the middle of those two things. I don't think it's quite right, but I don't think it's quite wrong. Please stick around to find out why. As I said in the introduction, today is all about the 4D Alphaedge FUTURECRAFT from Adidas, which has that 3D midsole on it. And I said it before in other videos, and I said it earlier in this video, that the 4D line and its 3D midsole can be hit or miss for me. And this particular sneaker is right in between the two. Parts of it I like very much, and parts of it I'm not a huge fan of. And we'll get into that in a minute, just after you've hit that subscribe button down below. Please do click the subscribe button down below. It helps me very much, and it gives me, you know, that feeling that I should just keep on banging out this content every single day. Daily content is hard. Please show your appreciation by clicking that subscribe button down below. 登録お願いします。毎日アップするので毎日大変です。仕事もあるし、子供もいるしので、アップするのは大変ですが、毎日アップするので毎日見てください。登録をお願いします。And I am here in Japan, so I do sometimes slip into Japanese like I did just now. But anyway, let's have a look at these Alphaedges. There are a few things on there that are of note. And often when I do these sneaker reviews of upcoming sneaker releases, I start at the top and work my way down. But let's flip that. Let's start at the bottom and work the way up, because I was really surprised when I was reviewing the sneaker to see this Continental outsole on there. And it just, I don't know, it was just, it was awfully plain to me. I wondered if they could have done more with it. Of course, they can't do what Yeezy does, and they can't do what Ultra Boost does and have those little windows that look through to the midsole, because that would risk that 3D printed midsole. But I thought they could maybe do a little bit more with the outsole than this. Bit dull, bit simple for me, Adidas. But anyway, what is dull about the outsole is the opposite on the midsole, because the midsole is absolutely phenomenal. It's that classic 3D printed midsole from the Adidas line, the FUTURECRAFT line in particular. And one thing I do like about it is I like how they've started to play with the colors. Ooh, I just banged my knee against the table and it shook the camera terribly. I wonder how that'll look. But I'm not going to edit it. I don't edit out the little flubs and mistakes in the videos. I think they add a little bit of character. But anyway, I was talking about the midsole there. Recently I reviewed the Yohji Yamamoto Y3 4D FUTURECRAFT. A lot of letters and numbers in there. And it was the first review I'd ever done for this channel where the 3D midsole wasn't in lime green. And I'm sure there's a screenshot up here showing you that sort of creamy pale white midsole in the 4D, not 4D, 3D. Not colorway, flipping heck, the 3D white midsole, but we've gone back to the lime green one, the classic lime green one, and I'm happy to see that. I think it's cool. I think it's a really signature look for the 3D printed midsoles, and it is one of my all-time favorite sneakers. Was the Daniel Arshams that kind of started off, I don't know if they were the very first, but they were right at the start of the 3D printed midsole kind of era for Adidas, and it's that Daniel Arsham sneaker that kind of is my reference point for reviewing these Alphaedges. And they're very close. These Alphaedges are very close to those Daniel Arshams. The Daniel Arshams are clean. They are clean. If you look at that sneaker, it's just smooth, it's sleek, it's clean, it's fire. I mean, you could run your hand along it like you'd run your hand along the chassis of a car. It's absolutely stunning sneaker, if you ask me. And these Alphaedges are so close. They're so close to mimicking that. And if they had gotten that little bit closer to mimicking that, they would be an absolute fire sneaker. They're not quite there for me, and I said at the top of the video there's a reason for that, and that reason is because of these two panels that I'm going to show you now. One is on the heel section. On both sides, the lateral and the medial side, you have these kind of almost triangular sort of rubber sections that are attached to the midpoint, halfway between the heel and the Achilles. You can see it, so you don't really need to explain where it is. I'm not sure if it has any design or structural purpose, and it just, to me, it takes away from that clean sort of sheen and veneer on the side of these sneakers. So that rubber paneling there on the heel is something I'm not a huge fan of, and it serves to set up the next point, which is the same kind of rubber paneling, but that appears on the lacing system. And the rubber paneling on the heel I can live with, I'm not a fan of, but I can live with. The rubber paneling around the lacing section is like a no, as far as I'm concerned. It comes in two halves, and they're not halves because they're not equally sized, but you get my point. The lower eyelets have a couple of little rubber kind of extensions or features around them, and they're very discreet, and they would be fine. But then the upper eyelets have this rubber panel that reaches down into the quarter section of the upper, and I really don't like it. Again, it might serve some kind of purpose, some structural purpose to do with stability on the shoe, but from an aesthetic point of view, it really disrupts the smooth flow from front to back of this shoe. You've got this kind of fabricy, shiny, I don't know, like the prime knit, I think it's prime knit anyway, upper, which is just really, really nice. But then right in the middle, you've got this dull, matte, rubbery thing that just comes down and splits the front and the back parts of the shoe. And I really don't like it. I think it's a design mistake. It might not be to do with design. It might be to do with function and purpose. So I might be wrong in that department. But as far as I'm concerned, from a pure aesthetic point of view and a look, that one little bit that comes down from the upper eyelets and bleeds into the upper, it's, you know, it's probably maybe 3 or 4 centimeters long. You can see it in the screenshot. That, to me, there's the failing of this sneaker. That one little detail. Had that, like the lower eyelets, had that kind of eyelet droop been like, you know, just discreet and kept within the eyelets and within the lacing system, you'd be on for a fire sneaker. But that way that it comes down and into the upper, I just don't really like it. So it is a fine looking sneaker, massively expensive. So there's no way I'm going to be spending money, this kind of money, on trying to acquire this sneaker when it's not as perfect as I would like it to be. It won't be one that you'll see in my collection anytime soon, unless something massively wild happens in the next few days. But it is, you know, it's a fine looking sneaker. The 4D line and the 3D midsoles are a cracking addition to sneakers in general, and I think Adidas are onto something there, and I really do hope that they can do more with that, and especially maybe make them a little bit more affordable in some way, because right now they're even more expensive than Yeezys, which is they're expensive already. So you're talking about very expensive when you get into this 4D, the 3D midsole 4D FUTURECRAFT bag. Okay, that's enough for me. That's what I want to tell you today, to talk to you through this upcoming sneaker release. There are 2 colorways. Gosh, I didn't even talk about the colorways. I'll quickly throw up a couple of screenshots here to show you the 2 colorways. One is white and the other one is black carbon. So there are 2 colorways coming out, and they both do feature exactly the same detailing. So that rubber kind of add-on, stick-on, or whatever you want to call it, appears on both of them, and you can probably see that in the screenshot up here. But anyway, that's my review of these Alpha Edges that are coming out real soon. Very expensive sneaker, course a cracking looking sneaker. Me, I just don't like that mid-foot part there, but maybe people at home do like that mid-foot part there, and we'll be copying these sneakers real soon. For now, it's time for me to check off. It's the end of another week of videos, of daily videos at the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker channel. We are looking to rebrand the channel real soon, so please do put your input into that by writing something in the comments down below about where you think the channel should go in the future. For now, it's time for me to sign off and say thanks for checking in, and I will see you tomorrow.